T.D. Ryan Unleashed is brought to you by Scott Zyman, your State Farm Insurance agent. Scott can help you save money bundling your home and auto insurance. Call 815-748-3101 or stop by at 2587 Sycamore Road, Suite D in DeKalb. Like a good neighbor, Scott Zyman and State Farm are there. Pizza Villa, pizza, pasta, sandwiches, and more at 824 West Lincoln Highway in DeKalb. For delivery or pickup, call 815-758-8116 or go to pizzavilla.com. My Insurance Guys in Sycamore, family-owned, local, reliable. My Insurance Guys cover Medicare to auto and everything in between. Call us in Sycamore at 815-899-0950. My Insurance Guy, business, auto, home, life, and health at myinsurancegyguy.com. And Elder Services of DeKalb County, safe, secure, and supported, helping you stay at home where you want to be. Call 815-758-6550 or stop in at 1701 East Lincoln Highway in DeKalb or on the web at ecsdekalb.org.
Also brought to you by Blue Silo Orchard. Blue Silo Orchard would like to invite you to their orchard at 19387 Tower Road in Rochelle. You can find us on Facebook at Blue Silo Orchard for up-to-date hours. We now have a variety of apples and pears and along with pumpkins and even some sunflowers left. You can find us on Facebook at bluesiloorchard.com. That's bluesiloorchard.com.
And welcome into T.D. Ryan Unleashed News Podcast number 19. Joining us was from the DeKalb Chamber of Commerce, Matt Duffy. Matt, how you doing this morning, my friend?
Doing terrific.
Great to have you here. Of course, I want to talk about your past there, not your past in a bad way, but what led you to leading the DeKalb Chamber of Commerce. Of course, you guys were Chamber of Commerce of the Year in 2022, so congratulations for that.
Thank you so much.
And of course, you just acknowledged your 100th anniversary, didn't you, just last year?
Not me, myself, but yes, the Chamber of Commerce.
It might seem like that sometimes. Now, you did a very interesting event, and by the way, we're going to talk to Dan Lynch, the oak tree of the news department here in just a moment, but I was so intrigued by this. I'm sorry I missed it, but I'm hoping you guys are going to have another one. It was a local guide to running for office. Join the DeKalb Chamber Foundation for an informative one-hour session featuring current elected officials and DeKalb County Clerk and Recorder Tasha Sims. Learn about roles such as City Council, County Board, Park Board, School Board, and Township. I was just wondering the other day how you get on these boards, along with official steps and timelines to run, gain insight into public service and how local leadership can make a lasting impact in your community. Tell us how this went, Matt, and will you do it again?
Yeah, so this was the first time we wanted to try this. We had done something similar back in the Proudly DeKalb days, where we had tried to. The idea was just let's try to break down the barriers for people that want to run for office. A lot of times people are like, oh, I want to get involved, but I don't have the time, I don't have the money. I think it takes a lot of time or money or resources, or how often do they meet, or
like, how do I even start?
Exactly, how do you get started? So the idea was, well, let's break down some of those, answer some of those questions. We partnered with, like you said, Tasha Sims, DeKalb County Clerk and Recorder, and she was great to be there to answer questions. She put together some documents that are now on their website. It's kind of one of those things that she's been wanting to do too, and we kind of helped work together for it. But it was great for people that were interested to be able to say, how much time is it really? You hear about when the meetings are, but how many other things do I have to be involved with? How many other outside things do I need to do? How much does it cost? How many signatures do I have to have? What are the deadlines? How long are the terms? All those types of questions that you might have. And the idea was, let's break those down. It was all about local office. And not only did we have her there, but we had representatives from the different, county board. EW was there, Ellingworth Webb. We had the city clerk, Brad Hoy, as a write-in candidate. Mary Hess was there from the township. Tia Anderson from the DeKalb Park Board. And then we had Steve Byers from the school board. So the idea is some were new, some were long time, and they could tell about how they got involved, what they needed to do, what it took for them, and then, how many hours does it take outside of the normal meetings to be involved.
Oh, that's great to know. So now, will we do that again, or how was the turnout when you did it?
So the response was good. I mean, we weren't expecting a packed house. I know we had a decent turnout for it, and what we actually found out was there was people who were saying, we'd love to see, could you run it again in the spring for different groups?
Right.
Because we found a lot of interest, not just in doing it the first time, but other people that would like to do it going forward. So I think it's definitely the plan is to do it again. Now that we've already got the kind of the paperwork in place and the kind of the layout structure, we know we can do it and do it very easily. The DeKalb Public Library was another location that wanted to say, hey, how could we do something like that? So yeah, the plan is to do it going forward now that we've got it, and we just want to fill the ballots. We don't care what ballot it is, what area it's in. We want choices for people when they go to the ballot.
And Matt, we just saw it in the last local election where we had a candidate running for mayor who ended up registering as a Democrat. Then we had a special election there. So claiming not knowing what time to do that, although it seems to be written in stone. But these are the kind of little mistakes that we have when it comes to election time, right?
And there were situations where there was a abbreviated term for the school board versus a full term, and some people didn't know that they could go for one, go for the other. We had 11 for one and 1 for the other.
Right.
So there's a lot that goes into it, but I know that the county clerk and recorder in their office is willing to help you with these things to make sure you do everything correctly. How do you bind it? When does it need to be turned in?
Yeah, right, with
How
the
do they
signatures and the binding, all that, yes.
There's a lot that goes in and that are little things, but they're there to help you. They're not there to get you, they're there to help you, as well as having this type of event so that you can know that in advance, because if it's your first time doing it, something as simple as, well, I didn't bind it correctly could get you off the ballot.
Right, yeah, that's incredible. I know. All right, Dan, you got some news. Dan's going to lay some news on us, and Matt's going to comment on what he feels like comment on. What do you got there, Dan?
Well, the plan for a roundabout near Clinton Rosette and the Elwood House, that's apparently been scrapped.
We kind of knew that all along. Come on.
A brief update was announced during towards the end of the school board meeting by Superintendent Minerva Garcia Sanchez. And according to Minerva, a reworked plan is in the works by city leaders. So they do have a plan for that oddly configured intersection.
Yes. Now, we had Justin Carlson here, the alderman from the 4th Ward, and Justin used to do that. I don't know if you knew that, Matt. He used to do that for a living. He used to put in light poles and light fixtures, and he explained the advantages of a roundabout where it's there's no lights, for one thing. You don't have to maintain them, and the safety factor as well. And you in the chamber, you guys involved with this at all in terms of this, about the roundabout? And of course, there was a rumor that they were going to cut into the Elwood property and stuff. And how did you guys deal with that at the chamber?
Not directly on this. We always hear about it when there's a problem or if there's thoughts on it. And so we didn't hear too much on it. Roundabouts are newer in this area. In some areas, they're all over the place. I always think of the movie Vacation, Big Ben Parliament. They keep going around. But the idea of once you get used to doing them, there are definitely some benefits for it. So obviously they're reconsidering it now. So we'll see what happens. But there's some good ones when it comes to trucking traffic south of town. You come off of Peace Road there. There's definitely some areas that make sense for it. But sometimes maybe you get too many of those in there. So we'll see what happens. And I think they're reconsidering it. But they want the safety. It is an odd configured intersection, so maybe that will work, but I'm glad they're taking a good look at it.
Yeah, we had to Woodstock from here and take 47. There's 3 right in a row there on 47, but I guess serving their purpose, so that's good. All right, Dan, what else you got for news, my friend?
DeKalb Police Chief David Byrd confirmed this week that immigration enforcement occurred near the DeKalb Walmart after officers responded at around 10:30 a.m. Tuesday of this week to a report of a suspicious vehicle. Byrd said that ICE did not notify or coordinate with his agency.
So not to interrupt you, Dan, but so the suspicious vehicle was the ICE vehicle, right? Somebody
That's
called in
correct.
the ICE vehicle. Okay.
Right. He also said they're not required to share information. He said, quote, as a local police department, the Illinois Trust Act prohibits that. We cannot get involved in any immigration laws, so we don't enforce those laws. I'm not giving any advice at all other than that there are federal agents in the commission of their duties. So this whole polarizing issue has divided the country.
Yes, it really has.
The last administration, it was mostly an open border. This administration has ramped up border enforcement and then
Take it to the next level.
are looking for folks who have a criminal record or some sort of criminal record to deport them. So, and of course, social media is going bonkers about this.
Right. Well, we had from Cortland, a teacher over in Cortland, Veronica Garcia Martinez. She's running for the 70th district against Jeff Kiker. But she is of Latino descent, and she was encouraging people, and this was a month or so ago, to start watching out for this. And I thought she was being a little paranoid. She would watch out for the ICE agents and the cars and try to warn people that they're coming. And unfortunately, we're seeing this here locally. And as Chief Byrd points out, Byrd told the Daily Chronicle ICE did not need to share arrest information with the DeKalb Police Department. So that sounds very confusing, because here you have a case where a citizen's calling in a suspicious vehicle, and it's the ICE vehicle. So it's just, I don't know if you want to comment on this or not, Matt, because there's no easy answer to this. It's a very gray area, but as you said, Dan, it's definitely dividing the country. I feel sick in some of the stuff that I see, where they showed a young lady last night on the news that her mother had been deported after 30 years living here, just a worker, she had no criminal record as far as they know, and they showed a video to their little girl of her mother being taken away. So it's just, and I don't like the masks. Why do we have to wear masks? Why are these soldiers wearing masks? I mean,
it's very polarized.
It is.
I mean, best thing I can say is there's got to be something in the middle there, because it can't be all or nothing. It's got to be, there can be some things in the middle, and all you hear are the stories of the horror stories on the one side or the horror stories on the other side, and there's plenty of things in between. So, obviously, if there's a criminal that's doing bad things and they need to be taken out of our country and it's going to make it better, let's do that. For some people that are doing things the right way, so to speak, and are just living their life, we don't want to make that change. But it's definitely a difficult situation.
It is.
Police chief, we were just there for our leadership academy and speaking with him on some things, and he said they're in a tough spot for this too.
And we stay away from national issues here, but again, this is a local issue, unfortunately. And again, the involvement there at Walmart the other day, so we don't know. But again, Veronica Garcia Martinez, check out our podcast with her, and she talks about a lot of things about people growing up. And something she pointed out to me that I didn't realize, that over 60% of people in the world speak more than one language. And I am guilty of only speaking, we Americans, we just assume we just had to speak. I failed Spanish in high school. But, it really gives you a perspective on that, because she's a bilingual teacher in Cortland, and she pointed out to me the advantage of these kids learning 2 languages at a young age.
It's a huge advantage, and going into the workplace. Because you have that. If you have that, that's a skill, and if you have that skill, no matter what you do, you can be a value beyond someone else that does the same job. So, I actually went to school in college down in Miami, and talked about a very bilingual community. I was very around that, and that was the norm. And it's almost, if you didn't have that second language, you were down the outside looking in. So definitely a good thing to have as far as having a second language.
How was your Espanol?
A CSC.
Okay. All right, Dan, what you got there, my friend?
The village of Huntley is bailing out on their plan for the Chicago to Rockford passenger rail service project. Village manager David Johnson listed or told Rockford Media that some of his concerns included the impact on downtown traffic with a stop in Huntley. Also, initial and future parking requirements, ridership, and financial commitments required by the village down the line. Now, 11 years ago, they shelled out $100,000 in infrastructure improvements downtown to accommodate the state of Illinois' plan to begin train service in 2015. But the project did not happen, and they weren't refunded.
Oh, wow.
$100,000. So, be that as it may, DEKALB was looking into this. A study a couple of years ago by Schwartz Consulting estimated, gave a breakdown of 189 people riding it on the weekends from DEKALB, 259 weekday passengers, operating costs of up to $12.8 million. So, and then 2 months ago, the city of DEKALB authorized a $400,000 Illinois Department of Transportation grant for a new planning and environmental linkages study. So,
sounds like we're one step closer to
the city of DEKALB is all in on this. It's a long process, and they're in partnership with NIU. Currently, there is a shuttle from DEKALB to Elbert, which is the last stop of that route. And more updates will be coming before the end of this year.
But now those numbers you cited, where were those from? So that's they're saying that 157 people take it on the weekend?
Yes. They commissioned several studies, but they were looking at 259 weekday passengers.
Okay. What do you think about that? Because, we talk about tourism and more people coming to DEKALB, and certainly hopping on the train. We're talking about going to Chicago, but coming out to DEKALB as well.
Obviously, we got the train that goes through town as it is, so it's not something new to us as far as how that works. So
it's like the Blues Brothers movie, right? But how often does the train go by? So often you don't even notice.
Obviously, for convenience sake, to be able to get on the train and go here, obviously having a university here and those students that go back and forth, having that would be nice. There's a lot of expense that goes into it, a lot of costs, not just initially, but maintenance type of things that go to it. So I think it's going to be a long time coming before we get to that point. So I don't think it hurts to get us closer, but having the bus is a nice stopgap to get people to Elburn and be able to take that without having the effect locally on expenses and some of the other things that were brought up.
All right, very good. I will leave it at that. All right, very good. Now I want to talk about a couple things here. NIU Police Department is looking for a new chief. Darren Mitchell was just a tremendous guy. Darren Mitchell used to come in the radio station all the time. Of course, back when move-in day was a big deal, he used to be live with us on the radio there. but I guess Jason John now is the interim chief of police. But I find this interesting, Matt, that they're going to have Matt Straub, the chief of staff of the president, chief strategy officer, talked about the timeline, and he says they're going to have the community will have each candidate go through an open forum. So the community will have an opportunity to meet the candidates and ask questions. So I think that's kind of neat for a police chief to have an open forum like that and kind of get to know the chief before he takes office.
Yeah, you're starting to see a lot more of that cross between NIU and the community. So whether they're hiring somebody at NIU, they want the community involved, or they're hiring somebody in the community, they want NIU involved. It's that community feel. I think it's great that they're continuing to do that. I was actually part of a couple of hiring processes at the university over the years. And so it's good to get that public perspective, because sometimes you're looking down a singular lens and you don't see the whole picture. So it's great that they're doing that.
And you were talking about offices here. Now DeKalb School launches a search for a new superintendent. Of course, Minerva Sanchez will step down at the end of the year. And again, I'm imagining that the community will have involvement in this as well.
Absolutely. No, they got some surveys out and stuff like that. As a parent of the students in the school district, we've already gotten some surveys like that. They're going to have some public hearings, and then they'll have some committees that will have people from the public as part of it too. So it's great to have that tie-in, because there, like I said, there's more than just the position academically, but it's the tie-in to the community. So it's good they're having that involvement.
Now, as a parent, would you rather see somebody hired within, or bring in somebody from outside and kind of take an outside look at this?
It depends on I like to see the candidates, when you see the candidates and see what that is, because if you just have a local person, but they don't have the greater perspective that they need, the experience that they need, that doesn't, sometimes doesn't work.
Right.
And I've seen it not work the other way. So it just depends on the candidates. I've seen both be the right choice in different situations. And I like the idea of having internal candidates that are interested to be a part of the process, because I always think that's giving them that avenue to grow is important, but that doesn't mean there's always the best fit there either.
Yeah, and then the candidates take office. It's so refreshing to see them involve those people that ran against them, so they keep them involved in that.
Absolutely. Very important.
All right, Dan, what else you got there, my friend?
A former Big Rock fire chief is pleading guilty to forgery. Kane County State's Attorney's Office says that 67-year-old John Rue will have to pay over $100,000 in restitution. He was charged last year with stealing over $100K from the Big Rock Fire Protection District while he was chief. Some of the theft charges have been dropped as part of the guilty plea to forgery. He will be on probation for 2.5 years. Apparently, he used a secret account to write himself checks. Irregularities were first noticed by the trustees of the fire district, which led to a forensic audit and investigation. Court documents say that Rue is currently living out of state.
He will rue the day he did that, too, because it's amazing. And so often we see this where they get away with it a couple times, but then they just keep doing it almost like they want to get caught at that point. I mean, the lady in Dixon, it's amazing. You watch that story who, she kept spending more and more money and just could have possibly stopped and got away with it, but just kept going, So,
You've never written yourself a check, TD?
well, perhaps. We'll leave that one alone.
I grew up in Dixon, so that's the story that I know about, but all that happened after I was gone. And yeah, it's scary to think that they have those. In fact, have you seen the movie Catch Me If You Can?
Oh, yeah.
So maybe they should bring some of these people back to solve these problems that are happening, because they know how to get away with it without getting caught. Maybe they could actually use that for good versus evil.
I like that. Very good. And, I print out the police report because it's just fascinating what happens in a single day. This was on October 5th, and I'm not going to mention any names, but somebody gets arrested for violation of protection. Retail theft is still very popular. Another retail theft, domestic battery. We talked to our friends at Safe Passage about how often domestic batteries happen. Retail theft. Now, this is just one afternoon. And another retail theft there at Sycamore Road, so we can guess where that is at. A domestic battery and then resisting a police officer. And I guess it's one day for the police department here. It's just amazing. It's such a wonderful community we live in, but certainly getting the bad guys off the street locally here.
It happens everywhere. It happened in Mayberry. Happened in Mayberry. It still happens everywhere. It's just different scales in today's world.
That's a great way to put it there. That's a great point. Dan, what do you got there?
Okay.
Dan made a citizen's arrest the other day, as a matter of fact.
This is a heartbreaking story here. Two people were killed Saturday when a pickup pulling a stock trailer crashed into a tree off of I-39 near Stewart. Illinois State Police say the crash happened in the noon hour, sunny day, near mile marker 92. The driver, a 25-year-old from Batavia, and a 47-year-old passenger in the front were taken to a hospital with injuries. And then a 32-year-old man and a 5-year-old boy in the back seat died in that crash.
Oh, boy.
The condition of the horses were not initially reported, but the crash is still being investigated as to cause and manner.
Wow. And then last week you had one where the young lady got rear-ended by a semi truck, right? But she was all right. She
But no injuries.
No injuries. That's wow.
Yeah.
Let's change the subject here. The Athena Awards. Now, people are going to hear this just a couple of days before the awards. I imagine tickets are already sold and everything, Matt. Are we all done with that?
Well, we're at the Egyptian Theater, so we have 1,400 seats that we
that's
could sell.
right.
So yes, we do have we already have the largest as far as the ticket sales for this event. But we do have space, and we'll take them all the way the day of until we get to that 1,400 seat, which if we got there, that would be amazing, because we had about 300, just over 300 last year, and that was the largest we'd ever have. So
That's great.
But it's great to have it. It's great to showcase the amazing thing that these women do, and we're
Let's just mention one real quick. Donna Larson, the principal at DEKALB High School. You're going to have to help me with some pronunciation. Linda Sherman, director of missions at DEKALB Area Retirement Center.
Devin Grieva, yes.
Community mortgage lender at FNBO, and Riley
Laupskis.
what you said, Director of Community Program and Outreach at Family Service Agency. So again, not an easy choice there, is it?
No, and that's why we send it outside the community to review the candidates and make those selections to other chambers that do the same program.
Oh, okay.
So we judge other communities and they judge ours as kind of a rotating thing, so that you take some of the bias out of the equation and you basically just the merits that are submitted, and that's where the selection is made. So I don't even know who it is, because we have a staff person that handles that, and they're the only ones that know it. And so that night,
kept in a mayonnaise jar and the fucking wine no porch.
Exactly.
Johnny Carson used to say. Very good. And of course, women of accomplishment, Donna Woolwright and Kathy Dombeck. Not two bad choices there, that's for sure.
Absolutely. It's great to recognize these women that have had great careers, and once they're retired, it's not like what they did goes away, so we get a chance to do that with this program too.
That's great. All right, so very good. So again, that's going to be at the Egyptian Theater Thursday night, October 16th. There again, you're hearing this probably around the 12th, but still get in there, like you said, with all those seats available.
That's right. And it's one of those events, once you've gone to, you're like, oh man, I got to go to this again, because it's great to hear the stories and to celebrate these people.
Sisters are doing it for themselves.
That's right.
Aretha Franklin said that. All right, Dan, you got another story, my friend? Or do you got?
That's all I have for stories. The Cubs are done.
No, what are you saying? Come on, they got done last night.
That's the story.
Well, you know, they scored the 4-1. Well, that's right. People are hearing this after the fact. So they're playing as we record this afternoon, and we have no question about what they'll do. I want to ask you some other events coming up with the Chamber, and that is the Mr. Willie's Dark Art and Oddities. You're having a ribbon cutting coming up on October 17th. Tell us about Mr. Willie's, what you know about that.
It's very dark and hot. Yeah, it's around the Halloween season. It's a great time for us to do this ribbon cutting and showcase this new business in downtown. So I'll learn more about it as well. I learn little bits right now, and when we do the ribbon cutting, it's great to learn about these types of businesses that want an entrepreneurial idea that goes to a storefront.
I want to mention, just for fun, the store in downtown DeKalb. We had Julie Jesmer, the trash squirrel lady, here a couple weeks ago, and she mentioned how that they've been helping out. The Just for Fun store has been helping them out with materials and equipment, and so kudos for them giving back to the community like that.
Absolutely. Since the start, they've been very actively involved, so that's great.
And then we got a Gather pop-up event at Jomneck Orchard, right? Tell us about that. It's coming up on October 21st.
Yeah, we try to do the social events at fun places. So the Gather Women's Group, they get a chance to go to these events and socialize with women. We get to showcase some of the businesses, and Jomneck Orchard was our business of the year last year as well. But great chance for women to come out and meet other women and connect in a fun way. And Jomneck's always great this time of year, whether it's hard cider or apple cider donuts or wine or whatever it is you might want. Slushies, they've got them all.
I want to mention Blue Silo Orchard is our new sponsor for the show, and they talked about how Jomneck Orchard helped them out. They're out there between Creston out there in Rochelle, but Jomneck Orchard helped them plant some of their apple trees there. It was, just, they're not in a competition with each other. It's just a different feel. So Jomneck has grown so big now that Blue Silo, it's kind of more old school take. But I thought that was great that Jomneck helped them out like that.
Exactly, paying it forward. And
Yeah.
I'm sure they had people that helped them along the way, and now they're able to turn around and do the same.
There you go. And then finally, I want to talk about the Spooktacular that's coming up October 28th in downtown DeKalb. Again, I'm bitter as a kid. I got one chance to trick or treat. That was it. But now the kids have multiple chances, don't they, with the trunk or treats? And now tell us about the downtown Spooktacular.
Yes, the Spooktacular is a great event. You'll see thousands of kids in downtown DeKalb going door to door, getting their candy, showcasing their costumes. And as a parent, when you buy a costume for your kid, you want them to wear as many times as possible, right? You buy it once and you can wear it to school, and the trunks and the Spooktaculars and the trick or treat on Halloween itself. So this is another one of those opportunities that downtown businesses support it. We've got sponsors that do the same. Police and fire are out there. It's really a great community event to come out in a safe environment, get some candy, and show off your Halloween costume.
All right, and a community calendar now brought to you by your friends at Stagecoach Players Theater. You can go to stagecoachplayerstheater.org, find out all the cool things that are coming up. I'll tell you what's coming up, the Haunting of Hill House, which is going to run October 30th through the 9th of November. You don't want to miss that. And again, you'll have a chance to win those tickets here coming up on News Quiz, but we thank our friends at Stagecoach for sponsoring the community calendar. And you just gave me some. Matt, tell us what this is, Trades Exploration Day.
Yes, so our Trades Exploration Day. So this past summer, we did a program called the Heavy Metal Summer Experience. And it has nothing to do with heavy metal music. I know that's where your mind went, but...
I have to tell you, we had Mike Verbeek here last week, and he told us the first concert his mother took him to was AC/DC.
There you go. There you go.
I still can't believe that.
So the Heavy Metal Summer Experience, we partnered with DEKALB Mechanical and the DEKALB Chamber Foundation, and we created, it's a 2-week camp for high school students to expose them to careers in the trades. Hands-on. We get them into shops, they're welding, they're plumbing, electrical, sheet metal.
And hands-on, right?
Hands-on. This is in the shop. This isn't like sitting in a classroom and learning about it or standing around watching. This is you doing the stuff. And we had a great response to it. So it's the 5th year of the actual program nationally. This was the first year we did it locally. We had the most applicants in the country, and we had the largest camp in the country.
Is that right?
In our first year of this program. The kids get DeWalt tools, they get Red Wing boots, they get
construction hat,
they get tools, they get PPE equipment, personal protective equipment. We were able to get them a stipend through the Illinois Tollway. They were able to we fed them with meals with sponsors that we had every day for this as part of the program. They were able to get so much stuff, but the experience is really what they took out of it. Having those things draws and attracts the students to it, but once they got there, we had students arriving an hour early every day for this camp.
Wow.
And when it was over after 2 weeks, the kids said, man, I'm so sad it's over. I would do this every day all summer.
So what are the age ranges here?
This is high school, 15 to 19 year olds.
Okay.
So you could be entering your junior year through graduating high school. So those are so most of them were, 16, 17, 18 years old. Again, some are still in school, some graduated and then went right into this. But it's exposing the trades, the things that they might be interested in, that there are some programs at the schools, but not to this extent and not as hands-on. So we were able to do this. So stemming from that success that we had, we said, these kids were like, oh, this is great. Now I want to do this. What do I do? So the next question is how do we find them careers? So the Trades Exploration Day is like a trade show for you to go in and meet with. We'll have electricians, we'll have plumbers, we'll have, we got union halls coming. We've got the 3M will be there. It's trades, it's warehousing, it's all these. Where would I go to find jobs? What skills are you looking for? How do I get started? When do you hire? Those are the questions you want to ask so that if you're still in school, you can take some classes, get some experience.
Right.
And if you're graduating within the next year or two, this can help you right into starting your career right when you graduate rather than trying to do something as a stopgap before you can get into the career that you really want to get into.
Very good. Now, Dan, you got a 16-year-old. It's time for him to start bringing some money into the house. Come on. Yeah. What do you think about that?
He's exploring that.
Yes, okay.
Those sectors.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you're a hands-on guy. Is he doing stuff around the house? Is he helping you build fences and things?
Well, it's kind
all
of
the dance projects.
Blind leading the blind, but yeah, I teach him when I can. I have my brother teach him too. But he's definitely exploring those sectors because I have some nephews that, they have a lot of debt. And my children, I'm just warning them against a lot of debt.
Yeah. Yeah.
In this economy or any economy.
Right. You don't want to start, with $100,000 over to the college. I know how that goes because I tried to get out of mine and it turned out you can't claim bankruptcy and get rid of your student loan and still have to pay that.
And that's the concept of this, right? Is if that's an area of interest, you earn what you learn. You get into your apprenticeship, you get into your job, you start making money right away. You can maybe buy a house sooner. You can maybe, save money. You can maybe buy things that you want and finding a career that you like. Because there's many people that will go into another field, then end up into the trades, and now they've either developed a debt or didn't make the money they could have. Whereas if they had been 5 or 6 years into it, they would be a registered apprentice, or they'd be past their apprenticeship, I should say. They'd be, and they would be able to be making top dollar, living where they want to, doing the things they want. And we're hoping that we're going to, they'll set up their roots locally here as we create these opportunities for them in the local community. They go, oh, I can find what I want right here. My oldest is in the trades. He decided he wanted to do this. We got started before any of these things, and that's what kind of got me into where did he go? Well, he had me to help him.
Okay.
Some of his friends came over and said, hey, what are you doing? And I helped them as well. So it's like, who's helping these kids to try to find these careers? Everything, when you want to go to college, there's a lot of information for that, and that's great. But if you don't, you're kind of on your own to some extent. So we're trying to really help fill that gap, create that pipeline, and for those that are interested in jobs in the trades, and in some cases, you still have to have a degree. This isn't saying and not having a degree. You get into manufacturing, some of these places like Ideal Industries, they actually have programs that will pay for your scholarship or your schooling. So now you don't have the debt, you're still earning while you're learning, and you still have the degree. So lots of good things in there.
There's a guy, Matt Freeman. I don't know if you guys know Matt Freeman at all. He's a local carpenter here, but he's worked for a guy, got his apprenticeship there, and now has his own business. He's just turning people away. He's so successful there. But again, he just stuck with it, and just hard work is what the key.
And the other part of this that we really like is how it can help the local economy. So I'll use my son as an example. He's been working, so still living at home. He's saving money, the possibility of buying a house. He's able to have spending money, so when he goes in the community, he goes out to eat, he buys clothing, he buys stuff at retail stores. He's supporting the local economy. If he were going to school, he would be broke. He would be building debt, and he wouldn't be able to do a lot of those things.
Ramen noodles.
A lot of times he's not even in the community. If he goes to Northern or Kish, yes, but if he goes somewhere else, he's not. So it keeps that money local, it keeps that, and it raises the economy. So if we can continue to develop and show these things, we got more people buying houses, we've got more people spending money at restaurants and retail and all those types of deals, and it's really, and they have a great living. And my son will probably be retired before I am. In 30 years he'll be retired, I'll still be working, and he's had a great opportunity. So, but it's the joy that you see these kids that maybe in a traditional classroom aren't succeeding, and you get a trade type of environment, and they're excited about it, and they're willing to learn because it's something that they are interested in.
What a great program that is. And then I want to mention too, also coming up on October 17th, that'll be, people are hearing this, will be this Thursday. It's going to be there at the Regal Center in Sycamore, 124 South California in Sycamore. It's for the Elder Care Services, tremendous work that they do. They're one of our sponsors of our show. Tara Russo and the gang over there, tremendous work. And I always want to emphasize, they are not a government agency. They're an independent agency. So if you can help out Elder Care Services, whether you go to Comedy Night on the 17th.
It's Friday the 17th.
Friday the 17th. What did I say? Friday the 17th.
You said Thursday.
Oh, sorry,
Thursday's the 18th, and that's how I know it's the 16th.
All right, here we go. All right, thank you for that. And then I want to embarrass this guy a little bit, the man sitting in front of us. So you won the Kishwaukee College, recognizes Matt Duffy with the Distinguished Alumni Award. That was last year. What did that mean to get that, man?
That was last year. TD, you can't bring that back up.
Come on now.
No. It was a tremendous honor. It was a surprise when I got the call about it. That I was like, did you run out of names already? But it was a good opportunity to kind of look back at the things you've done and thank some of the people that have helped me along the way. I know I talked about Terry Martin. He was one of my professors out there. I'll still remember him to this day. I still see him at events and stuff out there. He was an anatomy and physiology teacher, and science was not an area that I was that interested in, but he drew me in. And having teachers like that do it, having opportunities in Kish College that provided, so it was great for me to be able to share that story for those that aren't sure what to do, that, hey, this can help you get you on track and move you in the right direction, and that's what Kish did for me.
And you took an interesting path. You went to Berry University in Miami Shores, Florida. Is that still in existence, Berry University?
Of course it is.
What are they? Berry, what are you? The Berry...
Buccaneers.
Berry Buccaneers.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
so you studied sport management on a baseball scholarship. And then at one point, I remember you told me you were dressed up in some kind of a costume. Tell us about that, John. What was it?
I wasn't dressed in a costume. I was actually the tail guard for Stanley C. Panther, who's the Florida Panthers mascot.
Okay.
So my job was to walk around with a red jacket on and make sure the kids didn't yank on the tail of Stanley C. because Stanley can't see so well, right?
Right.
So I helped them, and then in the meantime, you're answering customer service questions. So your guest relations, and you're doing those types of things. So yeah, that was one of the unique positions I had of a tail guard for Stanley C. Panther.
I always wanted to be an actor, and they told me, don't take any gig where you have to wear a costume. It's going to cost you. And then you had a role in the National Inline Hockey Association. Is that still a thing?
That is not, but there is inline hockey. So I actually went to the USA Hockey to it's called USA Hockey Inline, because the National Inline Hockey Association was acquired by USA Hockey. So, but yes, inline hockey is still a thing, still a sport that's they play it at the YMCA here locally. They got the rink there in leagues, and I've spent some time coaching and doing those types of things here locally too. So, but the sport of hockey was one that I got involved in, worked for USA Hockey on a national level, and the National Inline Hockey Association was kind of my intro into that. So.
Oh, very cool. Dan, do the kids play hockey? Your kids skate? Do you go out where can you skate?
They have roller skates and inline skates, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, they grow out of them fast. So, but I think my daughter still roller skates.
And a quick look at sports. I want to mention, unfortunately, the Barbs lost, but Davon Grant, this kid is a real talent. Again, he's a tremendous basketball player, better football player. DeKalb lost to Lincoln Way West 52-21, but Grant became DeKalb's all-time leading career receptions, hauling in his 135th pass to pass Cole Tucker, a name that we all know very much. After 112 receiving yards in the loss, Grant needs 23 to break Tucker's all-time record of 2,409 yards. And of course, Tucker's such a great example of going to DeKalb High School, going to Northern Illinois University, coming back and giving to the community. Just a great guy.
Absolutely, and he actually came to the game, so he was on the sideline.
Oh, was he there?
We got it, and the two of them were chatting after he got the award. So it was great to see Cole come back and say, "Hey, awards records are meant to be broken. Congratulations, Davon. Good luck to everything you do." And so he was there for the game, and Cole's definitely a Barb, a Husky, definitely a lot of roots in DeKalb with his parents both playing at NIU too in different sports. So that was cool to see.
That is great. I didn't know that. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah. That's cool. And of course, Sycamore came up short. Again, Kaneland, they always had Kaneland's number, but the first time since 2018 that Kaneland beat Sycamore 34-14. So congratulations to them. And you know what? Kingston comes back with the win 63-14 over Rockford Lutheran. Now, what about NIU, Matt? You have close ties to NIU. How about the football team? They seem to be up and down. They're kind of hard to figure this team out.
Yeah, they got to get the offense clicking. If they could just, so the Cubs have had good first innings, but they haven't done after that. NIU has started the games with their best drives, and then they've gone down from there. So you just got to be able to build on that and see. The freshman quarterback looked pretty good in a couple of drives, and then everything kind of faded. So hopefully they can turn around. There's still a lot of back play to be had. So. We'll see what happens.
Do you get out to many games, Matt?
I go to pretty much all of them.
How the crowds have been? How have they
been? They've been solid. I mean, we've had great weather. I mean, it's been sunny. It's been warm. They can't have it. That's the complaint. It's too warm now versus like usually when it's cold. So,
right.
But it's been beautiful weather for it. So yeah, I've been at all the games here locally, and went to Notre Dame last year too for to see the Huskies win that one. So that was a fun trip.
And of course, we try to make this just like the morning show, so we do the obits as well. And again, I always point out to people didn't realize that to get your obituary on the radio, you have to pay to have that on the radio, but we do it for free here. Lori Irwin, who is only 59 at Sycamore, graduated from Sycamore High School, active member of the FFA. One of Laura's greatest joys was being part of the Flight Family Farms community. You guys know that now? Flight Family Farms community. The place brought her happiness as she found fulfillment in gardening, caring for animals, and cheering on children as a dedicated sports mom. James Richard Giles, James and Wanda moved to DeKalb in 1970 to teach English at Northern Illinois University, where Jim was a professor until 2007. Talk about, praise for a teacher. Jim's classes were in great demand, not only because he was a great lecturer and an expert on American literature, but also because he was a talented wit. According to one source, students and colleagues always leaned in to hear Jim because they knew that whatever he said was the most incisive comment they were going to hear. It was probably the funniest as well. So, boy, I'd love to get a feedback. I come from a family of teachers, and you don't get a better review than that, that's for sure.
You don't hear wit too often, yes.
No. And this one, I'm going to talk to his family. We're going to do a podcast on this. Charles Chuck Breeze, you guys know Chuck Breeze, the sheriff in Waterman for many years?
I don't, but I know the story behind him. Yeah.
Just a great guy. Law enforcement was always his passion, starting his career with the DeKalb Sheriff's Auxiliary. He continued as DeKalb County Sheriff's Deputy, then became Waterman's Chief of Police. When he had downtime, he was an avid train geek. Chief Breeze served the village of Waterman for unwavering dedication for over 3 decades, a distinguished tenure in the DeKalb County Sheriff's Office, position he held with integrity. His heart never left the village, not a badge that he wore, or the badge that he wore so proudly. Practiced community policing long before it was a buzzword. And that's something we all need, is community policing, right? We got to look out for our neighbors there and call stuff in, like we said with the guy calling in that ice car. Chief Breeze loved the village, not just as a place to serve, but as a place to belong, a lifelong train enthusiast. So we're going to have to talk to him about that. But I mean, 30 years of doing that, just amazing to get back and what he must mean to the people of Waterman.
Yeah, I'm sure his name is brought up a lot when you're talking about Waterman. Is the roots of the community.
Yeah, very good. All right, so we'll talk to his sisters. We're going to talk to his sisters here in a podcast coming up. And of course, we also do the birthday and anniversary list brought to you by your friends at the DeKalb County History Center. Go to DeKalbCountyHistoryCenter.org to find out all the great stuff. They got all the great programs. I'm sure you brought the kids out there before to the DeKalb County History Center, Matt.
The kids aren't kids anymore, but yeah,
I always think of you with the little boys all the time.
They're 17 now.
They're 17 now. Well, and Dan, have you guys ventured over there? Have you had a chance? I asked you before, but I forgot.
My youngsters have been there. I didn't take them, but they went there on some trip.
All right, then we're going to have the news quiz. I want to congratulate Ron Anderson. He was our news quiz winner last week. We'll tell you about our prize package here. But the friends at the DeKalb County History Center are kind enough to send over This Week in History for us. DeKalb County's first session court was held at the house of Rufus Colton in the now non-existent town of Coltonville. Now, I didn't realize there was a Coltonville. I know Coltonville Road, but there was a Coltonville. That was in 1838, became a county courthouse, had not been built yet in Sycamore. There's another one, the first Teachers Institute in the county, assembled in October 1858, had a successful and profitable session and gave the impetus to the educational interest in the county and stimulated the teachers to improve their system of education. And this one, if you drove around NIU and DeKalb in the early This Week in 1975, you may have noticed lots of persons standing idly outside the Home Student Center. Those students were waiting to buy tickets too. Are you guys ready for this? Jethro Tull. Some of the persons waited more than 50 hours. Some arrived Monday for Monday's ticket sales, which opened on Wednesday. Some persons waiting tickets said the Jethro Tull is, quote, the biggest thing to ever hit DeKalb and NIU. So I guess Jethro Tull played here in 1975. Now I remember the first year of the Grammys, they had a hard metal category. If you remember that, and Jethro Tull was the first winner. I remember my brothers, the Aerosmith and Led Zeppelin fans, were freaking out like Jethro Tull. But there you have it. They were here at the campus in 1975. Birthday wishes. We want to wish happy birthday to Russ Talley of Genoa. He'll be a birthday on the 19th. Susie Drendel will have a birthday in Kingston on the 21st. Dave and Diane Benson of Sycamore will have their anniversary on the 22nd, and Kelly Carlson of North Aurora will celebrate on the 30th. Some celebrity birthdays. Flea. Were you guys ever a big Red Hot Chili Peppers fan?
I don't know if I'd say a huge fan, but I like some of their music.
All right, do you own any of their music? Of course, nowadays people don't own music.
What does that mean?
I know. It used to be
on Spotify, yeah, it'll come up.
Dan, were you ever a Red Hot Chili Peppers fan back in the day?
No, but I like their sound. I like that they had a distinct sound.
Yeah. And speaking of distinct sounds, look at these three. Alan Jackson is 67, Eminem is 53, and Ziggy Marley is 57. So there's every type of music you want right there. We got country and western.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you had Jethro Tull. You already talked about him too. Right. We had an 8-track of Jethro Tull, so you want to go back.
Oh, an 8-track.
Those were smooth.
I thought the 8-tracks were the coolest things in the world. I couldn't imagine them advancing beyond the 8-track. I thought this is the coolest thing in the world. All right, so Dan, always we like to do the news quiz like we used to do on the show, the podcast news quiz. You probably have a question for me.
Okay.
Wait a minute now. Don't you want to know?
Oh, yes, TJ. What are you offering?
Well, ironic you should ask, because the prize closet is overflowing right now because we have a gift certificate to Pizza Villa, pizza, pasta, sandwiches, and more. John Finn over there at Pizza Villa does such a tremendous job. Just a great, great guy. Plus, we just talked to Ralph Sherman. Of course, Ralph was a little under the weather. He's feeling much better now. And Ralph's Car Wash, of course, that's right across Menards there. Why do it yourself when you can take it to Ralph's? We have a deluxe car wash from Ralph's Full Service Car Wash. And a gym that we have in the community, I don't need to tell the guy sitting next to me, Matt Duffy, of course, the Stagecoach Players Theater. They have the Haunting of Hill House, which is coming Thursday, October 30th. It starts the run. This is for the tickets for the Thursday night show. 2 tickets for that as well. So you get the car wash, the Pizza Villa gift certificate, and 2 tickets to Stagecoach Players when you play the radio podcast program. What do you got? Now you got the question.
The plan for a roundabout near Clinton Rosette Middle School. This is on North First. Near the Elwood House. That's apparently been scrapped. That was announced at what meeting?
All right, what meeting was that? If you can tell us that, contact me at tdryan2001@yahoo.com. tdryan2001@yahoo.com. And again, Dan, the question is, you want to know where the meeting...
What particular meeting was the plan? Well, the plan for the roundabout near Clinton Rosette and the Elwood House, that's apparently been scrapped. They're reworking it.
Okay.
What public meeting was that announced?
All right, tdryan2001@yahoo.com if you know the answer to that one. Well, Matt, it's been a pleasure having you here, my friend. Again, tell us about the chamber. You guys, you have to be so proud of how far you've come. I think I saw where it was 300 when you started members, and now it's over 600 members, right? Tell us about that.
Yeah, it's over 600 now. We continue to grow programs. Leadership Academy is in our 22nd class.
You and I were both in the Leadership
We
Academy.
were.
And,
It doesn't work for everybody, you know what I mean?
Did you expect that to last and be as popular as it has been?
You know what? It's one of those programs that once you're around it a lot, you appreciate it. I've been talking to people in the community recently, and some of them have said, that's definitely one of the greatest things you guys do is that Leadership Academy and what it does.
And for folks that don't know, you take people around, like we went to the police station, we went to the library, the schools. I mean, you take people all around the community to know the community, right?
Yeah, it's a 10-month program. It's about leadership, it's about civic engagement, it's about learning the community, and you get to speak to some community leaders, have some good discussions, and you build a great network of people that, you know, can help make impact you do projects. There's a lot of impact in it. So, but yeah, we're happy with that. The Gather Group, the things that they've accomplished over the years. 36th year of Athena this year. I mean, there's a lot to, yeah, we're proud of what we've been doing, and we're always looking for something bigger and better, and continue to improve. But it's what the needs of our members are, so that's how we make the changes.
Yeah, you're a victim of your own success as you keep setting that bar higher and higher. I mean, a little difficult.
That is true, but it's in a good way. I'm a competitive person, so I compete with myself sometimes.
All right, well, and I want to wish mention the gang over there at the DEKALB Chamber of Commerce, because you guys do such a tremendous job there.
Yes, Anna Wilson, our membership manager.
I miss her coming in every month at a radio station.
Yes. Virginia Jimenez, she just got married. So,
I was going to say, Virginia changed her name, okay.
Yes, so she's our marketing and events manager. We've got Steve Sarver is our administrative assistant, and Alexis Avilas is our communications assistant. So we've got a great team over there, and for 4.5 staff, we're able to do quite a bit. And but yeah, we've got a great team for sure.
And we can see you going out to dinner with some videos here on Facebook as well. I saw those.
Yeah, our Taste of the Town. Definitely check that out. And it doesn't go away when the Taste of the Town's over, but there are some great videos there of some places and enjoying some amazing food. And yes, that was fun for all of us to go out and to really talk about how good it is, because normally you enjoy it with the people you're there. We're trying to share that with everybody as we go to these places and try the different dishes.
And you didn't spill on yourself. I'm proud of you. That was very good.
They should give me a bit, maybe. But, yeah.
Dan, I give you a final word here, my friend. Again, we're recording this hours before the Cubs take the field for game number 4. You're oozing with confidence, right? Yeah.
You know, it seems like baseball fans today, they think you can't score without a home run. Way too many home runs. Manufacture a run, draw a walk.
I mean, look at the batting averages. You know, you're batting 243. You're having a hell of a season. It's like it used to be. You know, like what happened to 300?
The big number in Seattle, 60 bombs this year, and I think he hit 248.
240. Well, the first catcher, right? They had 60 home runs.
Yeah,
that's the thing I love about baseball. There's always something new coming along. That's great about it.
So, Ian Happ, please. Get on base. A hit, maybe?
A direct plea from Dan Lynch, the newsman. Dan, thanks as always for your yeoman-like efforts. Matt Duffy, thank you for your time. I want to thank my nephew, Ethan Davis, for getting us on the air. Ethan, we appreciate all of the work that you do, my friend. And all our wonderful sponsors, thanks so much. That's Newscast podcast, news podcast number 19 with Matt Duffy here. Judy Ryan Unleashed is brought to you by Scott Zyman, your State Farm insurance agent. Scott can help you save money bundling your home and auto insurance. Call 815-748-3101 or stop by at 2587 Sycamore Road, Suite D in DEKALB. Like a good neighbor, Scott Zyman and State Farm are there. Pizza Villa, pizza, pasta, sandwiches, and more at 824 West Lincoln Highway in DEKALB. For delivery or pickup, call 815-758-8116 or go to pizzavilla.com. My Insurance Guys in Sycamore, family-owned, local, reliable. My Insurance Guys cover Medicare to auto and everything in between. Call us in Sycamore at 815-899-0950. My Insurance Guy, business, auto, home, life, and health at myinsurancegui.com. And Eldercare Services of DeKalb County, safe, secure, and supported, helping you stay at home where you want to be. Call 815-758-6550 or stop in at 1701 East Lincoln Highway in DeKalb or on the web at ecsdekalb.org.
Also brought to you by Blue Silo Orchard. Blue Silo Orchard would like to invite you to their orchard at 19387 Tower Road in Rochelle. You can find us on Facebook at Blue Silo Orchard for up-to-date hours. We now have a variety of apples and pears along with pumpkins and even some sunflowers left. You can find us on Facebook at bluesiloorchard.com. That's bluesiloorchard.com.